Today I'm gonna explain 4x4 high intensity interval training. So what is the 4x4 interval training? So the 4x4 interval training is the type of high intensity interval training, which means that you perform the high intensity exercise and after that you take a rest, and after the rest you perform the high intensity exercise again. It's called interval training because there is a rest interval between high intensity exercises. Based on the research paper, the high intensity interval training or 4x4 interval training can improve your VO2 max. VO2 max is one of the very crucial components for athletes. The more or higher your VO2 max, the better your performance is gonna be. I mean, it totally depends on which sports you are doing, but in general, if the sports include the endurance components such as swimmer, marathoner, soccer players, VO2 max is one of the really crucial components for those athletes, especially. In this presentation, I will focus on soccer players. So in the third point, I mentioned that according to the research paper, 4x4 interval training can also improve soccer-related running. So what is soccer-related running? So researchers usually calculate or measure soccer-related running by using GPS during the soccer match. So during the soccer match, players who have GPS on their body, like somewhere on their back or on the chest, it can track the positions of players during the match so that researchers can calculate how much they run during the soccer match. And they categorize the running into sprint, high intensity running, low intensity running, jogging, walking, and standing, etc. etc. And they did some experiments. So they divided players into two groups, and one group did the 4x4 interval training and another one didn't do the 4x4 interval training, and they track the player's position during the match by using GPS again, and they found that players who did 4x4 interval training sprint more and perform the high intensity running more frequently compared to the players who didn't do 4x4 interval training. So it's evidence-based, and it's proved that it works very well for soccer players. Okay, so now I will explain how to do that. As a preparation, you have to know your maximum heart rate first. Maybe you can use Garmin, Polar, or Apple Watch as a heart rate monitor device, but you can use other devices as well. And to know your maximum heart rate, you have to perform maximum intensity test. For example, Cooper test, yo-yo, or so-called beep test. Then during the test, you have to keep your heart rate and you have to check what is the maximum heart rate during the test. And knowing your maximum heart rate as a first point of the 4x4 interval training, you have to run with the effort of 90 to 95% of your maximum heart rate. So you have to do some calculation beforehand. But it's a really simple calculation because you have to know 90 to 95% of your maximum heart rate, which was determined by the heart rate during those tests, Cooper test or yo-yo test. And you run with that effort for 4 minutes. And after 4 minutes, you jog around for 3 minutes as a recovery phase. And after the recovery phase, you run again with same intensity and for the same time. and you keep doing this for 4 times. So that's why it's called 4 times 4 interval training. So if you don't have those devices, and if you don't know your heart rate, it's a little bit problematic, because during the running, in the 4x4 training for 4 minutes here, you have to watch your heart rate. So if you don't have those devices, you only have to estimate what is your maximum effort of running and what is the 90 to 95% of your maximum running. As you practice, you will get used to it, but for the first time or second time, you will probably struggle what's your maximum effort and what's the 90 to 95% of your maximum running. But yeah, without heart rate, you have to just estimate. Okay, so frequency, how many times you have to do it per week. So during the off season, maybe you don't have any soccer practice, offshore soccer practice. So maybe you can do 3 to 5 days a week. And this 4x4 interval training doesn't take that much time. It only takes 30 minutes per session or so. So 3 to 5 days a week is really reasonable. And during the preseason, maybe you start offshore training, then you probably have to decrease the number of the sessions for 4x4 interval training, so maybe 2 to 4 days a week, or maybe you can integrate this training within your soccer training. During the in-season, you have soccer training and soccer game, so definitely you have to decrease the frequency. So maybe you can do 1 to 2 days a week, or you can integrate this training within the soccer training. Yep, so this is the end of this presentation. Thanks for listening, and if you have any question, you can leave a comment, and I try to answer as much as possible. And yep, see you in the next video.